Hello friends, today we will continue our discussion on validity of the Born approximation. In the last lecture, I derived this validity condition for Born approximation. So, in case of Born approximation, this condition should be satisfied, that this term should be less than 1. Now today we will try to apply this condition for the one example, that is a square well potential. Suppose we have a square well potential. Instead of spherical potential, now we consider the square well potential. I have drawn this potential over here. For the range for r is equal to 0, the potential is minus V0, and it will remain minus V0 up to the range A. So this is my potential, square well potential, and greater than this A, potential is 0, and here also the potential is 0. So I can write VR is equal to minus V0 in the range 0 to A. So for 0 to A, this potential is minus V0, and otherwise it is 0 for R greater than A. So this is one example of square well potential. Now, if this is the case, then what will be the condition for Born approximation? So here in this integration, now we have VR potential is now V0. So now this is my V0 in our case, and that V0 is constant. So I can take out of the integration. So now it will become m V0 upon h cross square k. Why? Because now my potential is not spherical one, but it is the square well, and it has depth minus V0 in the range 0 to A. So here I substitute minus V0, and it is constant, so I can take it out. Minus doesn't matter because we have taken the mod of it, so we neglect the sign. V0 constant, that we can take it out like this. So now it is 0 to infinity e raised to 2i k r minus 1 V0 I have taken out, it is dr, and now this is my Born approximation condition. But here the instead of integration from 0 to infinity, now our potential is in the range from 0 to A only. Our potential minus V0 in the range 0 to A. Otherwise potential is 0. So another term potential is 0. So this term integration will be 0. So here integration will be up to the A only. Because greater than A, potential is 0. So integration term will cancel out. So our integration is like this. Now just we solve it. What is the integration solution? That solution is integration of this term is e raised to 2ikr, that is e 2ikr is equal to divided by 2ik. It is a 2ik. Okay, and minus. What is the integration of this? Integration of this is r in the range 0 to a. So integration of e to I k r is nothing but e raised to 2I k r, and whatever is there 2I k will come down. So it is general solution. You should know it. And minus 1, so it is minus r from 0 to e range. So my condition will become h cross square k, okay, mod in the range a, so it is e 2ik upon 2ik minus ra means a. You substitute the limit over here. So instead of r, now you write a. Okay. Then minus 0 limit. So e raised to 0 means it is a 1. It is a 1. Okay. And r0 means it is 0. So this is now condition. Oh, one, sorry. Yes. E raised to 2ak r 0, so it is simply 1. But what about this? So here there should be 2ik, isn't it? So here for this limit minus of this, so e 2ik 0 means e raised to 0 means 1. So 1 upon 2ik will be there. Okay. And 0 over here, it is 0. So it is like this. So now m v0 upon h plus square k mod, it is e 2ika minus, it is 2ika. You take the LCM or multiply with this, okay, minus 1 upon 2ik, okay. So you divide by 2ik, so we have to multiply with this, so it is 2ik. Now if I consider rho is equal to 2ka, suppose I consider rho constant, that is equal to 2ka. In that case, mv0 upon h cross k, and it is e raised to 2ka I rho minus 2ka means I rho minus 1, okay, less than 1, but here upon 2ik, so I can bring 2 outside, k also, so it is k square. So 2 and k I have brought outside, so 2 over here, k square. What about I? But since it is mod, so no need to write I, because if you make it mod, so it will of no use. So this term I have written over here. So now this is formula or condition for rho is equal to 2ka constant, isn't it? So in case of square wave potential, for the potential Vr is equal to minus V0, you substitute over here, see it is constant over entire range, it is constant, so we can bring it outside, you just integrate it, very simple integration, simplify it and consider rho is equal to ka, so you have come up to this point. Now again I have to solve from this, so I need some space. Okay, so now it is mv0 upon 2 h cross k square mod of this. Now e raised to I rho, but I know that cos theta, e raised to I theta is what? Cos theta plus I sin theta, that you know. So here ei rho means it is cos rho plus I sin rho, okay, minus I rho minus 1, isn't it? So I am simplifying this condition. That's it. So EI row means from this I can write like this. So if I rearrange it, so MV0 2h cross k square. So it is cos rho minus 1 plus I. You can bring outside sin rho minus rho. Okay, isn't it? Now again I simplify this thing, 2h cross square k square. This plus something, this is complex term. Okay, so what I can do, I can write square of these two term and then square of, you can square this term plus this term and then again you get the square root. So here again I will square this term. So cos rho minus 1 square plus square of this sin rho minus rho square, and then it should be square root. Just try to understand. Suppose a plus ib. Okay. Then if I want to square this term, so what I do? A plus ib minus a minus ib. Sorry, multiply by a minus ib. So it will become a square plus b square. And then a plus ib is equal to square root of a square plus b square. Like this. Like this, I am writing a plus b like this. So this square of this, again square root. So square of this term plus square of this term and square root. So from this you can understand, I can write like this. So now mv0 upon 2h cross k square. Okay. Now simplify it. So it is simply cos square rho minus 2 cos rho plus 1. You just square this. So it is like this, plus sin square rho minus 2 rho sin rho plus rho square. Okay. Every time this is the case. Now since it is cos square plus sin square, that is 1. Cos square plus sin square, that is 1. This is 1. Okay. So I write this mv0 upon 2h cross k square, 2h cross square k square. Yes, rho square I write over here. Then minus 2 rho sin rho plus, not plus, but it is minus 2 cos rho and plus 2, isn't it? So rho square, this I have written, and then sin square plus cos square, that is 1, 1 plus 1, 2. So I have written over here, so 1 square root of this, and that is the condition. So I am simplifying this condition for our square wave potential. Okay. Now this is the case. Now suppose rho is very less than 1. Rho is very less than 1. But what is rho? Rho is nothing but rho is equal to 2Ka, and this is very small, less than 1, isn't it? So if rho is very small, in that case this square root term will be simply, it becomes 1/2 rho square. Okay. Now question may be arise, how can you simplify this as 1/2 rho square? Okay, I can prove this. Let me prove over here. I will try to prove. I will prove over here. This term square root is nothing but 1/2 rho square if rho is less than 1. If rho is less than 1 means it is 2ka less than 1. If this is the case, in this case I say that this term will reduce to 1/2 rho square without proving. If you want, I can prove very easily. You come to this point. This is cos rho minus 1 square. Okay, what is cos rho? You know, in Taylor expansion, cos theta will be 1 minus theta square by 2 factorial plus something. Okay. In the same way, for sine, you can sine theta is nothing but theta minus theta cube by 3 factorial plus something. So cos theta and sine theta you can expand like this. But here what I am saying, my rho is very small. This rho is very small. So for other term theta raised to 4, theta raised to square it's okay, but theta raised to 4 very small. Here theta raised to 5 very small. So I ignore other term. So using this I can simplify this term like, just try to understand. Cos rho means 1 minus rho square upon 2 factorial minus 1 and then square it. Okay, plus sine rho means what this? So rho minus rho cube by 3 factorial minus rho. I am neglecting other terms, minus rho and square of this. So I can write this term in this way using this Taylor expansion of sine theta and cos theta. Okay, so this will be cancelled out. This will also cancel out. So it is rho raised to 4 upon 4 plus this is rho raised to 6 upon 3 factorial means 6 and square means 36. Okay. But here you see rho is very small. So compared to the rho 4, rho 6 will be still smaller and smaller. So I neglect this term. If I neglect this term, so this bracketed will be only sigma 4 rho 4 by 4 only. And what is square root of this? Square root of this will be rho square by 2. That is 1/2 rho square. That is what I am saying to you. So in exam you don't have to write all these steps, but you have to just remember that this will reduce to 1/2 rho square. So in that case what will happen? In that case mv0 upon 2h cross square k square into, instead of this term now I have to write 1/2 rho square. But what is rho? 2ka. So it is simply 4k square a square. 4k square a square. Okay. So now it is 2 to 4 and so 4 will cancel out. This is k square, this is k square cancel out. Okay. So it will simply mv0 is square. mv0 is square upon h square. Let me see whether I am correct or not. mv0 is okay. And as per the condition, this should be less than 1. So my Born approximation validity condition will reduce this. This is my condition. So in case of Born approximation, this term should be very less. What is V0? that is the potential. So if the potential is weak, then this term will be very, very less than 1. So Born approximation is valid if the potential is very small, then this condition is satisfied. That is one thing. Okay, so in case of square wave potential, this will become the validity condition, and from this condition I can say that my potential term V0 should be very small to satisfy this validity condition. Then we can apply the Born approximation condition. That is one thing, isn't it? So from this validity condition, I write over here this validity condition. This validity condition for rho less than 1, my validity condition MV0 is square upon h cross square is less than 1. But in case rho is very, very large, so what I am saying that in case the square wave potential, if the potential is very weak, then this is the validity condition. But in case potential is not weak, suppose some moderate potential is there, then what will happen to this condition? Then if suppose our incident particle wave is highly energetic, then also because of the target, the scattering effect will be minimum. So there is two possibility. The scattering is minimum. There is two condition. If the target and its potential V0 is very, very small, in that case scattering will be minimum. If potential is not weak, suppose, but in that case if this incident particle are highly energetic, in that case also it will not be affected by the target potential because it is highly energetic, so it will just pass it out, not without much scattering effect. So either potential is small or incident particles are highly energetic. In both the cases, scattering will be minimum, and if the scattering is minimum, okay, then we can use this Born approximation. So this is the case. This condition shows that if the potential is small or weak, in that case this will be my validity condition. But if potential is not weak, but suppose my energetic particles are very fast, highly energetic, it means if rho is greater than 1, it means rho is equal to 2Ka is greater than 1. In that case what will happen? If you come over here, in that case, this term will be equal to rho. This term will be equal to rho. This I am saying without proof. I am just saying that in case if the charged particles are highly energetic, rho is greater than 1. It means rho is equal to Ka is greater than 1. This is a wave vector. Momentum is high, suppose. High momentum particles are there. Momentum is very large. In that case, this square root term will become equal to rho. But how it become rho? Yes, I can prove it. Just I show you proof. But in the exam you can straight away write down the square term will be equal to rho in case of high energy particle or greater than 1. But here just to satisfy yourself how it becomes rho. So if this rho is very large, Now come to this point. Again, we use this term. From this we will prove. Cos rho, rho is very large. When rho is large, then cos 90 will be 0. So if rho is large, in that case, this term will be 0, negligible you can say, and this is 1 square. So this term will give only 1. If rho is very large, cos 0 means 1, but cos very large, this will become 0. So it is minus 1 square. So it is only 1. Plus this sin rho. Sin rho is large. So maximum value of sin is what? 1. But since this is very large, then 1. So this 1, sin rho maximum value is 1. But 1 you compare to this minus rho. Rho is very large. Compared to this, you neglect it. So it will become simply rho square plus rho square. Again I say that compared to rho square, this 1 is negligible because rho square is rho is very large compared to 1. So this term will be very large compared to 1. So neglect this 1 also. Then square root of this will be rho only. So nearly equal to rho. Okay. So now this is rho. Now in that case, if this is the case, then now my validity condition will be mv0 upon 2 h cross k square rho. Rho means what? It is 2ka. 2ka. Okay. 2 will cancel out. K square and k. So I will just k. Okay. Now it will become v0a upon h cross k by m. So I will written v0 into a over here. M I will divide this term. Okay. H cross k, h cross square k. So I will written h into h cross k. So now what is this term? H cross k by m. What is that term? You see, for this momentum of particle p is equal to h cross k, and momentum is mv. So v is equal to what? H cross k by m. So momentum p is equal to h cross k. Momentum p is equal to m into v. So from this v is equal to h cross k by m. So h cross k by m is nothing but v. So now this is my v. So my condition is equal to v0 a upon h cross v, that is less than 1. This is my condition. So my validity condition will reduce this. Okay. So for this rho greater than 1, my condition will be v0 a upon h cross v, and that should be less than 1. So if even though potential v0 is not small, but if my incident particles are very fast with high velocity, this term, since it is very large, this term will be less than 1. So there is two possibilities. Either my potential is weak, or my incident particle velocity is very large. In both the case, scattering will be minimum, and if the scattering is minimum, then it has to satisfy this condition. So these are the conditions for validity of the Born approximation. So in case of square potential, if you want to use the Born approximation, then my problem should satisfy this and this condition. If it satisfies this, then we can use the Born approximation for the solution of the square potential. Isn't it? It's very simple. I have done nothing. I have just used this condition. Starting from that first square potential, it is minus v0. Since it is constant, I have taken outside. Okay, and then I integrated it and very simple mathematics I come to this thing. And then I argued that for small potential or rho is less than 1, this condition will reduce to 1 half rho square. This condition will, this bracket term will reduce to 1 half rho square. And from that I got this condition. And if rho is greater than 1, then this bracket term will be equal to rho, and using this I come to this condition. So these are the condition. If this condition is satisfied, then we can use the Born approximation. Okay. So this is one particular case. In many other cases, other potential also, you can get the appropriate condition like that. Okay. So I think you might have understood it, and in the exam it may ask the validity of, you explain the validity of Born approximation in case of squarable potential. Okay. Others problem are there that I have given in my note. You can refer it. Okay. Thank you.